So this is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and Dope Living TV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let me start off by saying views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Hey, y'all, peep this. So I've always, and as I said in the post, I've always been fascinated with cigar, the leaf they call it. This right here, this is just something. All right, somebody gave this to me, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna use it for props, so I can look cool like they look when they're smoking cigars. All right, tonight I want to talk about cigar smokers. What's the fascination with it? This is a whole community, guys. It's not just one or two people. It's a whole community of people that smoke cigars. And my thing is, what's the fascination with it? Why are people loving the leaf so much? All right, now little backstory real quick. I had a television channel called Dope Living TV. It was a whole channel, and we were doing a like a documentary type thing with a group of guys out of Illinois called the Smoke Fellas, and learning a lot about the smoking culture. But still, it fascinated me because I don't smoke cigars, but I know a lot of people that do. So tonight we want to talk about them. I got a couple of people coming on here tonight that are going to tell you exactly what's up with that smoke life. I know one thing though. Here's a comment here. Elsa, what's going on? Elsa, you need to come on here, man, and hang out with us. All right? Can I send you a link? You can pop on. All right? I'm gonna send you a link. But yeah, and Ilsa, you know, the last time we did this, Ilsa was on with us, and she educated us from a woman's standpoint. All right, now we want to get a man's standpoint too. All right, and Ilsa can come in and say a couple of things about her experience. So while I'm doing this, I'm on everything wrong right now. But while I'm doing this, man, shout out to everybody that's out there trying to live a dream. For real, I say this all the time. We have to continue to do what we got to do in order to make ourselves happy. So I've been doing this for a long time, all right? A long time. And I'm happy. You know what I mean? And I want to make sure that everyone else does what they need to do. I don't care if it's something that you do that you feel that you're great at, man, handle that business. Make it happen, all right? All right, let's get this started. So I speaking to some people. I talked to one of my friends. This guy, he's fantastic. I've mentioned him on the show before. He supports the show. His name's Roger Reese. This guy, he smokes cigars. I didn't know he smoked cigars. So I asked him, could he come on the show and hang out with us and explain what the cigar life is about, all right? And he said, no problem. Everybody say hello to my friend, Mr. Roger Reese. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, Greg?
I'm chilling, man. You good?
I'm good. Got out of work late. Just got home a little bit ago, so it's time to relax.
Appreciate you giving us some time, man. You know, I got a couple other people coming on, all right? But just wanted to make sure that I got you on there because, you know, as we talk about, I got this cigar, this right here, from a friend. Now, it doesn't have any labels on it. It came in a wrapper. it's I don't know what I'm supposed to be smelling. I never talk about what I don't know. Period. Okay. I know nothing about the cigar life. All I know is that I see you guys chilling, man. Y'all just relaxing. What is it about smoking cigars that makes you guys just want to gravitate to it and say, man, this is what I need to relax me?
For me, it's like one of those where it's like at the end of the day, you have a cigar. It's just like that nightcap. I'm not a huge drinker.
Yeah.
I do smoke cigarettes. So when you can sit back and just toke on a cigar, it's just relaxing, you know?
Is it and here's something I was reading about this. I was looking on line and I put in all you need to know about smoking cigars. And something came up and said, what is the secret of smoking cigars? The first thing that they say is take your time.
Correct.
That's correct, huh?
Yeah, they actually say that, like, and I mean, these are real cigar, like, aficionados. Like, you only puff on it, like, once or twice a minute at most. I mean, it's there for pleasure and enjoyment. It's not to rush it. I mean, just, you know, and a lot of it all depends on the cigar you have. I mean, you could take a cigar and it'll be a good 2-hour cigar. You know,
you saying a 2-hour cigar, does a 2-hour cigar mean it's the bigger ones, or can the small ones be 2-hour cigars too?
No, a smaller one. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Let me show you one here.
Okay.
That would blow your mind when I showed you this.
We're talking about cigars, y'all. Go ahead.
These cigars right here is called a nub.
A nub?
A nub. Now, you see this? How big this is?
Uh-huh.
So I mean, you figure that's roughly the size of my finger.
Damn, that's little, man.
This right here is every bit of an hour plus.
Okay, I'm lost. All right. I'm glad you said that part, because I'm lost. So, okay, it says take your time, but how can you take your time with something that's small?
Because it burns so slow. It's wrapped real tight. The fillers are real tight. So, I mean, as you're smoking on it, you almost don't even see it burning. It's just that tight. Like, I mean, I have this one right here, which is one of my go-tos. This is a Victor Sinclair cherry brandy shot. Tastes amazing. Get about a box of 20 of them for $55. It's a fairly cheap cigar, but I can smoke this in probably 25 minutes. But it tastes amazing.
Okay,
that's you know, almost half the size. Will take probably an hour to an hour and 20 minutes, depending on how much you puff on it.
Okay, now again, they say, and like I said, I can only talk about the they says because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm asking questions. So yeah. Let's get with the training part first, all right? If I'm getting ready to start smoking cigars, all right, I don't think it's appropriate to say we're smoking cigars. Are we just puffing?
You are puffing on a cigar, correct. You are not inhaling a cigar. You're just putting it in your mouth, getting the flavor, and blowing it right out.
Okay, so hold on. I got my man. This guy that's coming on now, man. He has his own. I call it a community. It's called Ya Cigara. All right. He's had it in Indianapolis and I think in Pennsylvania. He's bringing it back to the Northwest Indiana area. His name is John Tate. What's going on, John?
What's up, man?
What's going on, John?
Hey, how you doing?
Chilling. Hey, man, we talking about cigars and I just need to learn. All right. Now I've sat with you, John, a lot. Okay. Roger has already told us about. And Roger, if you don't mind, show that stuff. What was it? Nub?
This is a nub.
Yeah, that's a nub. That's made by Oliva.
Correct.
And he says, John, that you can smoke that. That's a good hour smoke or 20. What did you say?
Yeah, it's a small cigar, but the smoking time on it is just the same, almost if you're smoking like a 6x60.
Correct.
I don't know what a 6x60 is, but
A 660, all that means is it's a 6-inch with a 60 ring gauge.
okay. See, you got y'all.
Yeah, the first number is the length of the cigar, and then
Okay,
the second number is the width.
Roger, you probably got it up there, right?
That's what I was actually trying to look and see if I had something. This I have. This is not a 6x60, but this is about
That's a lunatic.
3x8.
That's an 880.
Yeah,
Bam.
That's by JFR, just for retail.
that's correct. Lunatic.
Okay, so okay, to both of you guys. Again, yeah, I'm glad you put that up there. That's half the size of that one. So can that?
Even the diameter.
Oh wow! And it still smokes slower.
This one is This is not going to smoke as long as this. That's
about a
probably
3.5 hour smoke.
3.5 hour. Okay.
Okay, so I mean, individually, let me start with you, John. Why do you smoke cigars?
I smoke cigars because it helps slow me down, man. What it does for me, it helps me like decompress from all the things that I've experienced throughout the day. And sometimes, you know, it relaxes you and it puts you almost like in a state of euphoria. You know what I mean? Where all you're doing is just you're just resting. You know what I mean? It's unlike a cigarette where you take the cigarette, you just do, and then you just going crazy. You know, with a cigar, you got to sit down. You know, you got to slow down. You got to stop. You enjoy the tobacco. And most of the time, man, you having a nice little glass of bourbon or whatever whatever you want with it. And
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
I want to get to.
So I smoke cigars, man, because it's a relaxing hobby. Like I always say, the difference between smoking a cigarette and smoking a cigar is a cigarette is a habit, and cigars is a hobby.
Okay, Roger. Now you touched on it a little bit, man, but expand on that a little bit.
Expand on which part?
On the part where what makes you? Why do you smoke?
Oh yeah, it's same thing as what John is saying. I mean, it's just, I smoke cigarettes, so I mean I know the difference of that. A cigarette is just to get that fix. The cigar is just to chill. You know, like I don't smoke cigars during the day most of the time. It's usually at the end of the night where it's just chilling, relaxing. Like John said, sometimes with a glass of bourbon or something. You know. Go to a cigar bar and you just chill.
And you chill and you relax and you have a good time.
Okay. All right. So and you touched on this next question that I wanted to bring up, man. So as I see you guys smoking and chilling, you know what I'm saying? And you know, number one, you look so cool. And you know, John, I know you've seen me, man. When I do film, I want to catch that smoke so that I can. Right. You know, catch it in real time, but I want to catch it and then slow it down while you guys are making puff. But I tried one time.
Did you inhale?
Man, I damn near killed my damn self.
Oh, yeah, didn't
you? Dude, I'm telling you, man, I went in because nobody told me.
You probably threw up and turned green, all kind of stuff.
Man, look, my black
ass. Yeah, the flu.
Yeah, there you go, Roger. I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody told me. I wanted to look cool like everybody else, chilling, you know, out there like that and this and that. And next thing you know, I'm like, and I did that for about 20 minutes, man. It was.
Look, the easiest way that I tell people that have never smoked a cigar before is that if you know how to use a straw, you know how to smoke a cigar. It's the same concept.
So you're not actually inhaling.
Right. You're not inhaling.
Okay. So let me ask you guys individually too. Roger, what is your favorite cigar?
My favorite, I have two favorites. I have a Macanudo, Hampton Court, and then the other one is a Padron. Padron is my go-to, but that's like
the 26 or the 64.
64 comes in the chrome, the cream case. Yep, the 64. I even think I got one here somewhere.
So y'all went to the names now. Okay,
This one,
Yeah,
number
Patrons,
90.
they got the 1926 series and then the 1964 series.
Whatever
That
this.
looks like Court. That's the Macanudo Court.
No, this is the Padron number 90.
Oh, that's the Padron. Okay, I couldn't see the because I know the Court coming in a white
26.
too.
It's a 26.
That's the 1926.
This is my go-to cigar.
Okay.
The thing about it is this is not something that you want to smoke all the time because this is about a $30 cigar.
Yeah, Padrones they got a really expensive price point like Davidoff's.
Yes.
Why? Why?
Because I mean it is the smoothest cigar I've ever had.
For one,
I mean, it burns good, it tastes good, it's just everything about it is good.
the price point of the cigars is almost like wine. You know how some wines cost more than others. So there's the process of those particular cigars. The tobacco is the aging process of it that actually is what makes them determine on how much they sell it for. Because some tobaccos like that, which very premium tobacco, it takes years for it to be ready. So say for example, maybe anywhere between 5 to 10 years for that crop of tobacco can be used to make cigars. So they sell it for that price so they can cover all the years that was sitting in the barn.
So I also heard somebody say that they spent about 10 grand a year on cigars. Is that realistic?
It's possible.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you smoke those Padrones every day, most definitely.
Yep, it's possible.
That's what I was saying. I go to my go-tos are the Victor Sinclair shots.
Yeah.
$20 or 20 of them for a box, and a box is $55.
And some of those are infused, the Victor St. Clair.
Yeah, this one is a cherry brandy. Tastes amazing, cheap. I mean, you're talking $2.50 a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
That's $2.50.
$2.50.
Okay, so some shit like this is how much?
That could be a million different cigars.
Yeah.
Free? Is it free?
Well, I mean, did you pay for it?
No.
Then it was free. Now, how much that could be? I mean, that could be a $30-$40 cigar for all anybody knows.
Without the band, it's kind of hard to tell what that would be. But most of the time, if you get a cigar like that from like a cigar shop, it's probably their house blend.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because a lot of cigar shops they have a house blend that they have, that they commission somebody to roll a house blend for them, and it might not have a band on it.
Okay, so John, you see how this is. What do I do to start smoking?
Like a Figueroa.
It could be a Figueroa. I don't know, man. But what do I do to start smoking this?
Well, first of all, you got to cut it.
You got to cut the end.
Yeah.
Which end?
But that one, you got to cut both the ends because it's a Figueroa. So both ends are closed. So you cut the widest end, and the smaller end is the head of the cigar.
Okay, so this is the head. And no, this is the head.
That's the foot.
Okay, what's that, Roger?
This is a beef cutter.
Oh wow. I think one of my girls had that out one day, man. Was like, Greg, if you keep acting up, I'm gonna cut you. Anyway, so you cut this end.
Right. You cut with that cigar, you got to cut both ends.
Correct.
Well, sometimes you don't have to, but if I would cut both ends.
Okay. Hey, Ilsa, she was on here before talking about cigars. She knows a lot. She says Crazy Alice is her.
Yeah, Crazy Alice. That's more like a it's a flavor type, but it's more like a spice botanical, and that's from the Deadwood series.
Okay. Jose says, "Spark it up, homies." Yeah, but now these how are these rolled? I mean, and because this is tight. This is tight. I didn't smoke weed before. I'm sorry, y'all, but this is, you don't see where where it starts or begins basically. So how do they roll these?
Well, there's the way that they roll it. They use like 3 types of tobacco. They use a filler, and they use a binder, and then they use a wrapper. So there's 3 types.
Okay.
So your wrapper leaf is what you see. That's the aesthetic part of the cigar. That's the tobacco you see. The tobacco that you don't see is the filler, which is inside the cigar, and the binder, which the binder leaf is which they use to wrap around the filler.
So this ain't the one where you wrap it and lick it and pass it on. This is
no, that's not tobacco in those.
This ain't cigar weed.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've gone through. Don't inhale, puff. You can't wrap it at home. So let's get a little bit different here. Kevin Miller says Swisher Sweet Grape is his favorite. Jose says, any of y'all got a drink with that cigar, brothers? And that's the next question. All right. So you're sitting there chilling with your cigar. You're at home. You're at the brown skin coffee, tea, and wine, and you're chilling. What drink, or is there a specific drink that goes with a specific cigar, or do you make it up yourself? Roger, I'm gonna ask you first.
See, I'm a bourbon drinker, so I mean I drink bourbon with all of mine. Now I did one of the cigar bars I went to in Indy, which was the Rocky Patel's Burn.
Yeah, I used to work there.
Yeah, real nice place. I went there right after it opened up, and now I was drinking there. I was drinking the Don Julio 1942
tequila.
Yeah, now that went really good with it because it's a real smooth tequila. But my go-to is bourbon. I'm a Crown Makers,
Okay, a couple of people in the audience said bourbon as well. John, what about you? Because I know you like sangria.
Well, but I don't. But I normally drink my cigar. I normally drink bourbons with the cigar, though.
Okay.
So I drink more like the what is that? Oh man, I forgot. I got the horses on. Jesus Christ.
It's bad to get old, ain't it, man?
Oh, I hate getting old, man.
Blanton's?
Blanton's, yeah. So I drink Blanton's, but sometimes Blanton's is hard to get.
Oh yeah, that's a premium bourbon.
Uncle Nearest, I drink that. I drink Four Roses, Jefferson. I drink some of that.
Have you ever had any Pappy?
Pappy Van Winkle? I'd never bought a bottle of that because I don't make enough money for that shit. but I had it before.
I've never had it.
It's really good.
Yeah, I would love to try it one day. Never had it.
Hey, that ain't my Pappy. Anyway, yeah. Jose said a lot of cats drink brandy with it, but I ain't had brandy
I'm
yet.
not really a brandy or
me neither.
And Ilsa said, with a gentleman's cube. What's a gentleman's cube, Ilsa?
The ice cube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's you get there's these ice tray molds that you can get. It's like 4 big gigantic molds, and you just
either round or square.
Either round or square.
Okay. She also says she drinks hers. She smokes hers with a glass of port wine.
Yeah. A lot of people, if they drink wine and they smoke cigars, they do a port because the port is probably the strongest out of the wines, and it's not as sweet as all the other ones. And then because when you mix in that type of wine with tobacco, you kind of taking the taste away from it. It's like bumping heads. You know what I mean?
So do you have to have a strong drink when you're smoking?
No, you don't necessarily have to have a strong one, but with the wine, because the wines it's like fruity, because you're dealing with a lot of grapes and stuff like that. So you're dealing with so much sweetness with a wine that it could take away from the cigar. So the port wine is probably one of the most strongest that you can drink. that doesn't have too much of that citrusy wine taste.
Okay. Jose wants to know you guys' thoughts on cohibas.
I'm not a huge fan of cohibas. I mean, I have a few of them here. I mean, I have what I got here. I think I got some whites and some reds and some blues. And I'm just I'm gonna show you, Greg, what he's talking about a cohiba here.
Depends on, so there's two different types of cohibas. Now the ones that Roy's getting ready to show is probably the Dominican ones. They're the red dots.
Yeah, this is a blue.
Yeah, that's the blue one. But if you look on the word that says cohiba, normally they normally have like the O in cohiba is normally like red with a dot in the middle.
Correct.
And call those red dots because those are the ones that are they're Dominican, and they're the ones that's manufactured by what is that? Is it American? What is it? American Tobacco? I forget the name of it. But there's but they do those cohibas, but they're not affiliated with the Cuban cohibas.
Yeah, those ones. Dude, you're talking about the yellow label, right?
Yeah, the Cuban cohibas are the ones that have like the holograms on it.
Yeah.
So those two different types. So those are the ones, but made in Cuba, basically. So there's a lawsuit with the Cuban cohibas and the Dominican cohibas because they said they took the name. And you remember when Kennedy signed the embargo, they made Cuban cigars illegal to sell in the United States. So the company here in the United States, they said, hey, well, we could take the name of cohiba because you can't sell cohibas in here. So they're not infringing on any copyrights because there's no such thing as cohibas in the United States. But Cuba's like, no, that's our name. And they've been going back and forth in the courts for like years.
So cohiba is illegal?
No, the Cuban ones are, but not the ones that Roy has.
Raj,
I'm sorry, that looked like a Y. But yeah, Raj has the Dominican cohibas. Those aren't illegal in the United States. Only the Cuban ones are. Okay. And those are the ones with the hologram, and they got a hologram of a woman in there.
Okay. Jose says Raj got to share some cigars with that big bag of cigars. With cigar bars, are there cigar plugs or people that sell Cubans that any of you met before? Now I know, John. Before you say that, I know that you and the Ya Cigar brand, you guys dealt with the brand ambassador for cohibas, didn't you?
Yeah, we dealt with but that was for the Dominican ones.
Okay.
His name is Sean Washington.
Yeah.
No, Sean Williams. I'm sorry.
Sean Williams, correct.
Yeah. So there are some websites that gets Cuban cigars, but you got to be careful because not all of them say, not all of them are Cubans that they claim they are, and those websites they watched.
Can you guys tell? I mean, with the palate that you have with these cigars, can you tell?
Yeah, I can tell the difference between, something that's Cuban and something that's not. And most of the time, you don't even have to smoke it to tell it. You could just look at it. You could just look at the band.
I personally have never had a true Cuban cigar.
Okay.
Really?
No. Have never had a connection or anybody that had them.
Yeah, I have some people that worked at Burn that were able to get Cubans whenever they go out of town. They go out of the country for vacations and like that, and they would bring like some, back, and they would share some with me. But they're definitely hard to get. You definitely got to know somebody.
Roger, let me ask you, man, what's considered a good cigar?
So everybody's got a preference. I like a mild Connecticut wrapper cigar. That's my preference. So I'm a mild cigar smoker. Now everybody there's different ones. Like a Maduro, I could have a Maduro, but I could have one every once in a while. They're a little bit too strong for me and it's not enjoyable. So I mean, They're all different, Gray. I mean, like they'll start out with one flavor, and then after you get about halfway through, there's a different flavor, and then when you get to the end, it'll be a different flavor. Okay. You know, I mean, it's all just a different taste.
Yeah, it's a lot of cigars. Those are the best ones that change their complexity of the cigar as you go through it. Like, I smoke a lot of Maduros. I'm a Maduro smoker because I like to put the pedal to the metal when I smoke.
Yeah, see, I'm the complete opposite. I'm a mild. I have almost all of mine are Connecticut wrappers.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, blind.
Now, the only thing that I can say about the Connecticut's is you have to be careful with some of them, because even though the wrapper on the outside is light and they use like a Connecticut leaf to wrap it, sometimes inside the filler is like really strong tobacco. But I would say 90% of the time when you buy a Connecticut, it's going to be a really mild smoke. But you just got to watch some of them.
Yeah, there's been a few of them that I've definitely had that crept up on me.
Right.
Okay. Jose got another question. He says, "What's better in your opinion, cigarettes or cigars?" And he said he understands those two completely different tobacco products with different pleasures. But what's better in you guys' opinion?
I don't even think that you could put a comparison on those two. They're two so far different, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're different because they're targeted to two different types of smokers. You know what I mean? Smoking cigars is a culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Gray, you see I smoke, and when I go, I couldn't go out and have a cigar on my cigarette break.
Right. Cigars is a culture. Like, you got to go, you go to a cigar lounge to enjoy a cigar. They don't have cigarette lounges.
Correct. Now there's many times after I finish my cigar, immediately after I finish my cigar, I'll light a cigarette. Because the cigar's not giving me what the cigarette does.
I get it. I get that.
You know, so, I mean, I want that cigarette as soon as I'm done with the cigar.
Okay. That makes sense.
Hold on one second here.
So let's talk about preserving the cigar. Okay. So if I sit this cigar, John, say I sit it in my car for a couple of days, it's not going to be any good anymore, right?
Probably not. I would say a cigar could probably be maybe a day and a half or something out of the humidor, especially if it's not in plastic or anything like that, because your cigar has to be temperature controlled in a humidor.
And what's a humidor?
I would say, well, a humidor is like it's just a fancy way of it's a box where most of them are all lined with like cedar wood, so it can trap the relative humidity that keeps the cigars fresh.
Okay. All right. See, I'm learning a lot. Okay, and everybody, we're talking with Mr. John Tate and Mr. Roger Reese. These guys, I'm gonna just give you guys a title of cigar aficionados. All right, because you guys are actually giving us a masterclass on these cigars. Ilsa, like I said, she came on before and did, and I think I'm going to do this probably once a month. Just talk about these cigars and let people know, because it's, as you said, John, it's a culture.
It's a culture,
but it's also a community. You know, there are different cigar clubs across.
Right. Look, you could go on Facebook. There's like a lot of cigar clubs that you can get into on Facebook, things like that. They ain't got no cigar clubs. Like, you don't have a whole bunch of people talk about how that Newport tasted. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I got to do it, though. Well, you know, one of you guys are going to teach me how to do this, okay? Because I can hold this all day and look cool, okay? But you're not cool unless you puffing and the smoke comes out. You're not getting it.
Well, you better be prepared. Tomorrow I'll bring you one.
Yeah, Roger and I are going golfing tomorrow, all right? Nice. But, hey, man, so...
I got my little Herfador here ready to go.
You got a Herfador?
Yeah, got the Herfador ready to go.
Wow. So, there's another question from Jose. He's got all of my questions, so I'm just going to let Jose do the interview. He says, with cigar smoking, do y'all enjoy a nice cigar with a drink, listening to music? If so, what do y'all listen to? One more question before Greg enjoys that big old cigar.
That's a pretty cool question. You know, I can enjoy a cigar with with some nice jazz, some nice easy listening music. Sometimes I could just smoke a cigar without no noise whatsoever. I could be in the backyard and I could just listen to nature. And then sometimes I could like smoking a cigar watching a game, whether football, basketball, baseball, whatever. So it depends on where I'm at the time.
Okay, what about you, Rod?
I couldn't agree more. I don't think I've ever went outside and put on music to have a cigar. A lot of times it's just like peace and quiet for me, sitting out on the back porch, looking at the yard and just relaxing and chilling. I mean,
Yeah.
my me time, as I call it.
That's the I'm not laughing at you guys because I'm like, because I've seen John zones out. He just sits there, zones out. It could be like Armageddon behind him. He's sitting up there like,
man, look, smoking a cigar is the most therapeutic thing that you could ever do. It's therapeutic for people.
okay,
You gotta try it, Greg. You get hooked.
I'm gonna try it. Let's take it a step further. Okay, now both you guys, you got these beautiful women with you. You got your girl with you, all right, and cigar is a cigar part of your romance.
Well, I know my wife. She smokes cigars every now and then.
Okay.
Hold on.
What about you, Raj? While he's
No, my wife is not a cigar smoker. She's not against the smell of it, depending on what kind of cigar it is. There's some that I've lit where it's a stronger, like a Maduro or something like that, and it's a little overwhelming for her.
Okay.
So
now I've gone to places, like I said, I was filming a thing with a group called the Smoke Fellas, man, and this is how I first got introduced to it. And I think the shoot was maybe about an hour. I was getting lightheaded. And you guys don't get lightheaded with this?
no, not at all. Now, I mean, a lot of time, was that indoors or outdoors?
It was indoors, and I think the ventilation wasn't that great either.
Yeah. So you go to a cigar bar and you could walk in and almost, I mean, you'll smell hints of a cigar, but you won't see smoke in the air. You won't, I mean, it won't be bad at all. But now you get somewhere where you're down in a basement and you and the fellas are playing some poker. See, because that's another thing. Poker and cigars, they go hand in hand.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of those where I feel like it enhances my poker game. You know? But you get a bunch of the fellas down and you're smoking a cigar, playing some poker, all you guys, and yeah, it'll get a little overwhelming. I mean, you can get a headache from it. Cigar smoke is definitely potent.
Okay, yeah, I was lightheaded, man, and then when I left, I got pulled over, and I couldn't explain to the officer why I was not staying within the line, but it is what it is.
You're also a non-smoker.
Yeah. Ilsa says, I think it's very attractive to watch a man with a cigar swag. So that brings me to another question. What General Arma Poe said, where the weed at, though? This ain't a weed show, bruh. We talking about cigars, man. What the
Can't
hell?
help with that one.
I can't help it either, man. But if you get at me after the show, I give you a couple of numbers, man. No, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. But which leads me, like she said, Ilsa said it's very attractive to watch a man with a cigar swag. What do you all think about a woman smoking cigar? Is that sexy to you?
Fine. No problem.
You like that, John?
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan?
I have a different take on that. For me, I don't see it as a sexy thing. That's just me. I mean, I don't know. It's not a turn on for me.
Some women make it look so sexy though, man.
Now that could be. I also could honestly say that I think, other than Gray on your last show, was that Ilsa that was smoking the cigar?
Yeah.
That's probably the first time I've actually really seen a woman smoking a cigar.
Okay.
So
Remember,
I might change my perspective on that, John, if I had seen it.
Now you remember back in the day, I think it was like in the 50s or something like that. You know, when women used to smoke cigars and they used to put them in those long tubes. They used to smoke cigarettes back in the 50s or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And they had like the models and the black and white pictures, and they would like smoke those cigarettes with those long tubes.
Yep.
And they made that stuff look hot.
Now I will agree with you on that.
Okay. Jose says, thank you, Jose, for tuning. Hey, man, you're a funny dude. He says, women and men are equal, brother. Equal that they should enjoy whatever they feel like they enjoy. Raj said it best. Some think it's unattractive. Some do, like John, think it's sexy. Man, if it's a vibe, enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I said, you know,
it's to each their own.
I'll put it like this. I've seen some women, and to me, it wasn't very attractive until I saw a couple of women just take that cigar. I'm not going to do it on the air, okay? But take that cigar and...
Especially one of the lunatics.
Yeah. Took the words out of my mouth.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. I mean, it's like, hey, excuse me, ma'am. When you get done with that cigar, my name is Greg. But man, that's amazing, because I know a lot of people. Ilsa said, "Calm down, Greg." Ilsa, you know I'm not lying. Okay, yeah, you know me, Ilsa. You know me very well, and that's some women just take it and they don't just smoke it and puff it. They make it an experience,
right?
To watch.
Cigar smoking is an experience. That's what it is. And the cool thing about it is when you get like around a lot of people and they're having great conversations, like it's almost like a networking tool, because and I worked at Burn in Indianapolis, and I also worked at the Burn in Pittsburgh, and I've met so many people, all many different walks of life. I've met professional athletes, I've met politicians, I've met business owners, you know, anybody that done anything, you know, outside of what I've done. I've sat next to people like that, famous people, and smoked cigars with them, and we just talked about everything.
So it just makes, I guess, cigar, because like you said, it's a community, and it just makes people come together.
Right.
I've seen that. It makes people come together and just have conversations.
All different walks of life, all different financial backgrounds, all different races, or whatever the case may be. It brings all together. And that's why they call each other brother and sisters of the leaf, because that's what we are. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it, man. I mean, like I said, if I have to get I guess an immunity to the smoke long term in order to enjoy it, you know, but I'm gonna get there. Okay. Ilsa says, right, John, you're absolutely right. Now, Jose asked a question. He says, what is the worst nasty? I mean, the nastiest nasty, like stuck on food on a wash spoon at a Denny's, nasty cigar you've ever had?
Oh man, let's see. The nastiest cigar that I ever had. It was a Quorum cigar. It was like $2 and some cents. It was probably like the nastiest cigar I ever had in my life.
What about you, Ryan?
I mean, that's a tough one. Probably one of the, and again, just because I'm not a fan of a strong cigar, to me the taste was a little overpowering, and this probably is one that John probably likes. I think it's called a Flathead.
Oh yeah, I love those.
I had bought I had bought a 5-pack of those because they were on sale somewhere, and they were supposedly a 90+ rated cigar.
So did you?
I was getting them for cheap. What's that?
Or the 770?
What did you say the first one was?
Did you get the 660 or the 770?
I want to say where there were 770s. They were huge, and they're box pressed.
Yeah, box press.
Yeah, so I got those, and I got a pack of 5 of them, and that was an overwhelming cigar. It is potent. Talking about you, Gray, the first time you smoked one, I had given my brother-in-law one, and he's a non-cigar smoker, and I had smoked on mine. We're about 30 minutes in, and I might maybe been an inch and a half into my cigar, and he was about more than halfway done with his. And on the way home, my sister had to pull over, and he was puking his brains out. And because he was just going to town on this thing, and it was a very, very potent cigar.
Yeah.
I would probably never smoke one of those again.
I think the strongest cigars, there's two of the strongest cigars that I've ever smoked, to my opinion, was the La Flor Dominicana. It's a double Ajero. They call it the Digger. That's one of the strongest ones. And then the Gurkha Ghost.
Gurkha Ghost. I've also heard that the diesels are strong.
Yeah, the diesels aren't bad. Yeah. They're not bad, but it wasn't as strong as the La Flor Dominicana. But it's one. If you're not used to the Maduros, I would stay away from the diesels too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely stay away from those.
So I got 8 things not to do when you're smoking a cigar. Tell me if you guys agree with this. The first thing they say is don't cut your cigar too deep.
Right.
Okay. The second one is light your cigar at close range.
Right. No. Well, it depends on what you lighten it with. Because if you light it with a torch at too much close range, you burn the edges of the cigar. You don't want to do that. So you don't really want the flame to actually touch the cigar. You want to toast it first.
Correct. Burn it out here before you even put it in your mouth.
Yeah. You toast it first. What I like to do is when I toast my cigar, I like to try to burn around the edges so that way that I know that the flame is going around the whole cylinder. Because sometimes if you don't burn it evenly, then when you start smoking, you start to canoe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They said use low quality butane in the cigar lighter.
Nah, you don't want to do that.
That one, I don't know.
Butane, you'll start tasting that in your cigar.
No, hell no.
Quality butane.
Don't want to do that.
Or you could do old school, which I like to do. I like to get like a cigar. I like to get a match and then light a cedar stick, and then use the cedar stick to light my cigar with.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So,
but it sounds interesting.
A lot of boxes that the cigars come in, they have like sheets of cedar to help with the moisture. And then you can take that sheet of cedar, and then you can break it off into like little sticks.
Oh, okay.
Then you take the match, and then you light the cedar stick that you just made, and you use that to light the cigar with.
Okay. Look like Roger looking for that now. Roger,
I'm pretty sure I don't have one in the box, but I'm pretty sure that's the cedar, the wrap around the cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this one comes with a cedar wrap.
Yes, that's a cedar wrap around there. So he can take that cedar off of there, and he can light the cedar, and then use that to light his cigar.
Oh, so really?
Like a Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, interesting. That's interesting. They also say don't puff too fast.
Right.
Okay, and of course
you gotta draw on you have to draw on your cigar like very slowly, because when you pull on it too hard, you make the heat in the cigar like it starts to be centrally located, so it can burn faster in the middle and not around the edges.
Okay, all right.
So don't pull on the cigar too hard.
So there's rules to being in a cigar. In the cigar world, all right. Jose has another question. He says John mentioned he watches games while smoking a cigar. Question for you guys: who is your favorite athlete of any sport of all time?
Oh, my favorite Walter Payton is probably my favorite football player, and then I think Jordan would be my favorite basketball player.
What about you, Ryan?
You can't go wrong with either one of them two.
You know, I was watching something before I came on here, and I didn't know Michael Jordan was an avid cigar smoker as well.
Oh my God! Look, man, I saw a tour of his house that he had in Illinois when he was playing for the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a game room in his house with a wine cellar and a humidor. His humidor would put some cigar lounges to shame.
Man, I had and this is off of the conversation. When I was doing my music video show, I had opportunity to interview Michael Jordan, talk to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And at the end of the day, Michael gave me a jersey and he gave me the plans to his house. I literally had the plans to Michael Jordan's house. And what I did later on down the line was there was a young man that went to my son's school who was trying to play basketball, get to the next level. Shout out Dewan Marrero. And he did get to the next level, but I gave him the jersey and I gave him the plans to the house, man. I said, man, you can do this. You can do this. So, yeah, Jose, that's a great question. My favorite, right now, I mean, you can't go wrong, like Roger said, with Walter Payton and Michael Jordan, but, man, Steph Curry. This guy don't miss a shot. Well, he don't miss a three-pointer. Steph Curry, that's my guy. That's
right.
my guy.
Oh, you can't go wrong with
Can't go wrong with him, man. Can't go wrong with him. We got to get out of here in a minute, man. But I want to thank you guys, first of all, man, for coming through and hanging out with me and at least telling us about how, the cigar culture and what you need to do, okay? We didn't get a chance to talk too much about a lot of things, all right? So I'm going to do this again next month, and I want to invite you guys both to come back and hang out with us. And we're going to all smoke one on air, all right?
Yeah, next one you got to touch on. I mean, you haven't even touched on all the different types.
I haven't.
Box presses, the sizes. I mean, the torpedoes. I mean, they're just.
Yeah.
I want to break them in, though, because I'm just going to do – this is going to be a regimented segment once a month on Dope Living TV Live. We're going to talk about cigars because it is a community. I tell everybody that Dope Living is a lifestyle, okay, but that's a community. Yeah. And I see a lot of women are picking it up now. And again, it depends on how you're smoking it, ladies, all right? Because if you're my girl and you pick up a cigar to smoke, then you're gonna have to do.
You don't want her to pick up this one, right?
No, she could duplicate the action. I mean, I'm cool with it, man. That's all I'm gonna say. So before they don't let this one go on the air, but man, if there's something that you guys could tell beginning smokers, people like myself that don't know how to smoke, give them some advice as to how to start smoking and enjoying.
Right.
This cigar life.
Well, I would say, I would start out with something small, maybe like a Robusto, and maybe in a Connecticut, because you're dealing with a small cigar, so you don't have to, you don't have to invest a lot of time smoking it if you don't like it, and then with it being a Connecticut, it's not as strong and it won't affect you as much. And then once you get to the point where, you want to do something a little stronger or whatever and a little more cigar, then you can graduate, into a stronger, longer cigar.
Okay. What about you, Rod? Yeah,
something like this right here. This is a Cuban honey. And it's a smaller one. This is maybe like a 38 by 4.5 or something like that.
About a 4.5 by 38.
Yeah, this is a good smaller cigar. It's not going to take a long time to burn. It'll have a little bit of flavor. It's a honey, and it's still the Connecticut wrapper. So, I mean, this would be something good to start out with and see if it's something you're going to enjoy.
Yeah, I think the Cuban honeys have 4 different flavors or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys know a lot about cigars, man, and that's good. So now, outside of Ilsa, because she knows a hell of a lot about it as well, I know 3 people that can really educate me and my viewers that smoke cigars or want to smoke cigars. You guys can educate us on how to do it right. And the next time we talk, as Roger said, I want to know, you guys have mentioned so many, you said Macanudo and Dipsy Doodle and all of that shit, man. I want to know exactly what these are, where they're from, you know what I mean? you know, because we just touched the
Right.
tip of
Yeah,
it.
there's a handful of different countries, man, that you know grow tobacco. You got like Roger smoking the cohibas. Those are basically from Dominican Republic, you know, and then you got a lot of them, are from Nicaragua. You're talking about like Esteli, you know, where God, what's his name? That does the Liga Privadas. Drew Estates. They do a lot of theirs. A lot of theirs is Nicaraguan. You know, Rocky Patel, he does a lot of his cigars from everywhere, from Dominican to Nicaragua. He even has a cigar, San Andreas, which is like Mexican tobacco. And then he also does a Cameroon, which is that tobacco is from Africa.
Okay, Roger, how many cigars you got back there?
I mean, I got in this bag right here. I mean, I got quite a few in this bag.
Damn.
You know,
They gonna raid your house.
I got some other boxes over here. I got my box of Macanudos. I got my humidor, and then I got my cherries.
Oh shit, man! I'm 53 years old.
Well, you guys will never be without the cool. You guys will never be without the cool, man. I appreciate you guys for coming through and hanging out. John, tell us about Ya Cigar, bro.
Well, Ya Cigar, it's a mobile cigar company that my wife and I put together, and what we did was we sold cigars to like private events, like different types of parties, fundraisers, bachelor parties, reunions, anything where people gather and they wanted cigar vendors there. We did it. Golf outings, stuff like that.
I was just gonna say that would have been really nice to have something like that tomorrow.
Yeah, most definitely. So that's cool, man. That's cool, man. Man, I appreciate you guys for coming through, hanging out with us. Okay. Again, if we got to do this once a month, man. Okay. I need you guys to commit right here on TV, man. I got thousands of people looking. Y'all got to commit to come on through here and hang out with G and the rest of the crew. They weren't able to come tonight, and let's talk cigars.
Yeah. Look, I apologize for being late, man. It took me forever to get on the StreamYard, man. I'm not technical.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I tried to do it on the iPad, and it wouldn't let me. It's saying it wouldn't let it, so I had to use the laptop, which the camera is not as good as the iPad.
Yeah, I'm on my iPhone doing it, so.
But you know what, man? Even though y'all had these issues, okay, you were effective. You know what you're talking about, okay? And the thing that I hate, and I abhor this, man, is to come on my platform, because you both you guys know me, okay? I say what I say, all right? Don't come on here and pretend. You know what I mean? You guys did not pretend. You guys came with that heat, man. So again, I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate the invite, Greg.
All right, Raj, good meeting you, my brother.
Nice meeting you, John.
Put some smoke in the air for me.
Okay, yes, I'm heading out right now.
Yes, sir. All right, man. This is Dope Living TV Live, man. We will see you guys on Monday. All right, I'm going golfing tomorrow. Roger, I'm going to see you, bro.
I'm going to see you.
All right, peace, y'all.
Okay, later.